So they get a bit disoriented because it's like darker, it's late at night, they're confused.
Yeah, they can bite, they can spit at you, and they can like even throw their poops at you, whatever. It will cause your immune system to be down, and then yeah.
Don't anyhow kiss people, okay guys, you see? Hey guys, what's up? This is Kim and welcome to All Facts, No Filters, and we're gonna deep dive into some careers. Now, today's guests are very interesting, okay, because they're extremely important in our lives. They take care of us, they're supposedly very caring, and I would say also extremely important for our survival. We're gonna deep dive into their careers and occupations and also find out the not so glamorous side of things that we maybe don't know about. So can we please give a warm welcome for Natasha as well as Faith. Natasha is actually a nurse.
Yes.
She's quite vocal about, workplace, and I think also when it comes to nursing, people generally feel like nurses are very caring, very loving, especially towards the patients. We'll find out if that is all true. And we also have Faith, who is a medical doctor as well as blogger. I'm so excited. I feel like if we become best friends, then my medical care is set for life. Let's start a little bit softer. How do you first get into nursing first?
I really like to help people. I want to learn more about the medical side and healthcare. I want to help people to the road of recovery and also find out their disease and prognosis and everything.
And for Faith, right? You started out, I think, in the public sector, and then you broke your bond.
Yeah.
You're like low-key famous for that. And then after that, you went into private practice.
Yeah.
Correct? So how did you decide on that? It must have been a very big decision.
All local graduates, after completing 5 years of med school, they do 1 year of housemanship and then 5 years of a government bond. Within my first year-ish of housemanship, I realized I was pulling 70, 80-hour days and then...
70, 80-hour days?
No, 70, sorry, 78-hour weeks. Not days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really intense.
It really was. And it was really bad for everyone's physical health.
So I like to watch medical dramas and stuff like that. I don't know how accurate it is in terms of the emergency and also the working hours. I think the working hours sound extremely accurate at this point in time. As a junior doctor, maybe you just started your residency kind of situation. What is the most common task that people would arrow you to do?
We are literally the errand boys. We are the paper pushing monkeys. Some people get in there 5:30 or 6 a.m. to prepare the patient list for the day to see how many patients that their bosses have to round.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so for morning rounds, the whole team goes around. The junior doctor has to run and open and close the curtains, grab gloves if you need to examine the patients, and run to the lift and press the lift button.
No way! Are you serious?
Yeah, you're sort of expected to do that, and as the house officer, you have to be faster. And then you take coffee orders after everyone's done with morning rounds.
Oh.
And during morning rounds, if you don't know your patients well enough, you get roasted.
This is quite interesting. Let's dive into this next part. The fact boards that I have got in front of you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you guys a question, and then in your own ways, you can use words, you can use pictures and drawings. Just leave your answers, and then we will elaborate on them after that. You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So the very first question I have for you guys: what is the toughest patient interaction you have faced? Is it too small for you guys?
It's okay.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Is the myth of a doctor's handwriting true or false?
My handwriting's always been bad, even before I became a doctor.
Okay, so it's still
consistent.
True. So still true.
Yeah.
Alright, you guys ready?
Yes.
Let's put it down.
Wow.
Let me go with Faith first. This is a bit cleaner. So Faith drew, I guess, a needle with an angry face. So patients getting angry with you for giving them injections?
Okay, let me preface this by saying that it's not the patients themselves who are difficult, it's just the circumstances. I mean, no one wants to be sick, no one wants to be in hospital, but there was one time I had this elderly man. I asked him if could I take his blood. He tried to scratch me, and he tried to claw at me.
Is he a cat?
Some patients turn into cats at when the sun goes down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they start
Sundown syndrome.
Yeah, sundowning. It's a real thing.
Oh no!
Yeah. So they get a bit disoriented because it's darker, it's late at night, they're confused.
Yeah.
Oh
They're
wait, you're not actually joking.
They
You're
think
serious.
they're poop and
Yeah,
poop.
they think poop and pee.
Wait, so then what happened? Did you have to, I don't know, give him mittens or what?
So I had to keep going to his bedside throughout the night to ask him, Uncle, can you please let me take your blood? The nurses and I took turns coaxing him. And then eventually he was give me some food. So I bribed him with food and I managed to take his blood.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You have to tell me the poop chewing story.
So like dementia patients, they actually like just get their poops out and throw it everywhere, and then we have to stop them, and then we have to like put mittens on them. And, yeah, sometimes worst case we might have to restrain. Yeah, but there's always a last resort.
Okay, let's look at your Picasso drawing. She drew a stick figure with a happy face. Now I'm going to say this happy face is not happy at all.
Sometimes it's very normal for them to react aggressively and like they are lost and confused. Like for example, they have dementia and that's why they act the way they are. They can bite, they can spit at you, and they can like even throw their poops at you, whatever. But then all these are very tough. But I think that they are just in conditions that they are unable to think clearly. So I don't really blame them for that.
That's true, and I'm sure they're extremely uncomfortable also because the fact that they're in hospital, or like in a certain kind of like healthcare institution.
Yeah.
What is actually the difficult part? Is it like the caregivers or what?
So I think the difficult part is the environment in the healthcare itself. I realized that it's actually like the same as any other workplace out there. Like there's still like politics and things like that.
I'm sure every industry has like pros and cons, but how toxic is the healthcare industry really? Alright, okay, let's show it to the cameras. Okay, tell us more.
There's actually a lot to it. Like the vertical is like the top-down kind of bullying, and horizontal is like peer-to-peer bullying. And so
how they bully you?
Actually, it's not so obvious like bully like physical or anything. Like,
right.
But it's more like colleagues might withhold important information from you regarding the patient's care.
Wait, I'm so confused. Why would they withhold this information from you?
It's like probably you're new and then they just like discuss among themselves like their cliques or anything, and then they just let you figure it out yourself.
What?
Yeah. If anything happened, they will point it at you for doing that. It is more to vertical, like probably they'll publicly criticize you, like I suddenly lost the word. Okay, just make you feel like your self-esteem is like being crushed. And then horizontal, it can be like when doing a discussion and then they'll question your decisions and like make you feel that you can't work independently, you can't make like independent decisions.
Obviously, there are way more constructive ways to go about it than, just publicly shaming a person and stuff like that. But I think that reflects more on the person than on you. Okay, wait, let me interpret this next drawing first. Let's see.
You're right.
You're smiling, but like you're burning underneath, is it?
Yeah, correct. So you're smiling on the outside, dying on the inside.
Ah, I see.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
close.
the vibe.
Okay.
So in terms of like work culture, burnout, hierarchy, and like people just wanting to one-up others, there's a lot of that in the workplace.
Right.
Yeah. So I think burnout's probably the worst thing affecting like younger staff, like especially junior staff with like long working hours, very intense rosters, and then on top of that, you're trying to learn everything on the job. You're trying to be competent and be professional the best you can be for your patients. You have to manage the expectations of your seniors, asking you to do lots of things. The family members demanding for like daily updates. They will like just keep calling the ward.
And then we have to deal with doctors sometimes and deal with the...
So leading from that conversation, right, but like how obviously there are like patients and I guess caregivers who are really lovely at the end of the day also. What are some of the, I would say, more fulfilling experiences you have had that has kept you in the job? Because obviously there are a lot of grievances, but the fact that you're still in the job means that, there's something worth going for.
So for me, I actually felt very privileged to be able to take care of somebody else and being so close up with a person and to take care of the daily needs of the person. And when they say thank you, and sometimes they even like say, I'll pray for you that you have a better future and things like that.
Wow!
Yeah.
That's so pure!
Yeah.
Okay. What's the best way to show appreciation to a doctor and a nurse?
I think it's just words itself is enough. Like we don't need gifts because we are not supposed to receive gifts also, but we don't need that. We just need like words of thanks, appreciation, and like smile. That's it.
Right. Okay, so for the final fact-board question, it's going to be about career progression. You enter, as a junior nurse, as a junior doctor, then where do you go from there? Alright, let's put it down. Alright, let's take a look. I am gonna go here first this time. What is this flowchart? I don't understand. Okay, please explain this to me.
So you see, you start off as like a sad, lonely, overworked junior doctor.
Right.
And then so some of them decide to go into residency and some decide not to specialize. Like me, I chose not to specialize. You climb up the ladder, you end up working fewer hours, you have more autonomy over your schedule. You might not have to work weekends anymore. So that's where the happiness and the money comes from.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, the hard work does eventually pay off.
For nursing, the first 6-month probation is very important, depends on where you work. You need a really good mentor that can help you, guide you, and help you navigate through the healthcare and the nursing life. You need someone to be able to support you, advocate for you. I mean, the hard work is one thing, like doing the shifts and hard work, everything is one thing, but then the superiors might keep asking you to prove yourself that you are super be a nurse.
Okay, we're gonna go into this job tryout challenge. I'm supposed to guess if a disease is real or fake.
Okay, let's start. So the first one that we're going to ask you about is exploding head syndrome. Is it real or fake?
I thought it was gonna be like some Latin word or something. Like, I didn't think it was gonna be so English. Exploding head syndrome. It must be real.
Yeah, it's a real thing, but it's something that happens during sleep when you have when you suddenly hear a really loud sound like something's exploding.
Okay, so Epstein-Barr virus, is it real or fake?
What? I only understood virus. What's the first? Are the first two words English?
Yes.
Oh no. Epstein-Barr virus. Okay, I think it's a real virus.
Yes. It's
Okay,
real.
yeah.
So it's an infection of the virus through saliva and sometimes like through kissing. It will cause your immune system to be down and then, yeah.
Don't anyhow kiss people, okay guys? You see? You must be selective, you know?
Okay, so the next one, Crippin virus, real or fake?
Fake. Sounds like only creeps will have it.
What do you think the Crippin virus does?
People that creep on you, I don't know. That sounds so...
Okay, you're right, it's fake. We were tricking you.
Okay, very good. Okay, next.
Alice in Wonderland syndrome.
Wait, it's supposed to be a virus, not a disease.
No, it can be anything. Whether it's a medical condition or virus, so it's not
Alice
real.
in Wonderland syndrome.
Yeah.
That sounds real for some reason. But I don't know what... Okay, Alice in Wonderland syndrome, is it like a psychological thing whereby you're in, I don't know, a fantasy world?
Yeah, actually you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, you're actually kind of right.
Yeah. It's a neurological, psychological.
Guys, I tell you, actually I can be a doctor if I study a bit harder.
The next one, since we're on the topic of psychology, what is brain cloud? Is it real or fake?
Brain cloud, it sounds like brain fog. Is it similar? Like, I think it's real.
What do you think?
She's like not giving anything.
Nice.
Okay, I think it's real, and it's like a brain fog situation.
We were tricking you. It's fake, but close enough. I mean, brain fog is real, but brain cloud isn't.
Frog cake syndrome.
Frog cake syndrome. I feel like all these weird sounding ones are actually real. Okay, I think it's real.
And what is this?
Too bizarre to make up. It's just someone made it up though. You ate too much cake and then you had to shit it out. I don't know.
Wait. No. You ate too much cake. No.
No?
It's actually fake.
Yeah,
Someone made it up.
It's fake. Yeah,
Who made it up? Okay, let's do one last one.
Jumping Frenchman of Maine.
I think it's a real disease. And like people are just like losing their minds, so they're jumping into the river to end their lives. Wait, that sounds very morbid.
It is real. So it happened to a group of 19th century lumberjacks. And no one knew why it happened. It's not really a medical thing, but it's a medical phenomenon that happened.
Alright, thank you so much for this fun little game. Hopefully you guys managed to guess along as well, and play with us at the same time. Now before we wrap up today's topic, I do have to ask you guys these questions though. What would you say are the 3 best moments of your jobs so far as a nurse and as a doctor?
Okay, so the best moment are when the patient is improving. That's when is the best time, and patient interactions, and being able to practice what I learned, being able to juggle so many things in the ward. I think is quite an achievement. I think.
Hey,
3 best
Faith,
things.
let me know the 3 best things first.
The ability and the privilege of being able to heal and touch people's lives
That's
so
true.
the way that they trust us to protect and heal them it feels like a very huge privilege, and being able to see them actually get better because of stuff that we've done. Yeah, that's definitely the most fulfilling part of the job. Another thing I really love about it is that it's like very intellectually stimulating lah. Because I mean, some jobs are like a bit more menial, so
That's
yeah.
amazing. Okay, and like, what was possibly one of the biggest mistakes you've ever made in your career? And it's something that you've learned how to do better ever since.
Okay, so there was this time when I was like really, really exhausted when I was on call. It was like I think 2 or 3 a.m. I hadn't slept since like the past day. I think I accidentally missed taking the patient's bloods, so I got scolded the next morning. But I mean, it was nothing life-threatening and nothing serious enough to get struck off. But like momentary lapses because of exhaustion, it makes you realize like you have to take care of yourself in order to not endanger your patients. Like, what if I missed out something bigger or something more dangerous? Then I could really have had serious consequences. But thank goodness it didn't.
What about you, Natasha?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest mistake is not speaking out when I was a new nurse. Because like I just go along with everything that was thrown at me, and then like when people scold me or anything, I just be like, okay, yes, like I would just be okay, I just keep quiet. I think that it's very important to speak out and to speak out for yourself. Whenever I receive verbal abuse in the past, and I just keep it to myself and just blame it that it's probably my fault, and it just lowers my self-esteem over time.
Actually, I think you brought up a really good point, which is very in line with what Faith mentioned, because you have to in your position, take the best care of yourself so that you can give the best care to your patients. Thank you so much for sharing so much insight about your industry that I never knew about. And obviously, I think this goes without saying that if you're listening right now, it just gives you so much more insight as to how much nicer you should always be to everybody in the healthcare industry and beyond, but especially to your nurses and doctors. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having us.